I can figure this out. It's just symbols and I don't know what this stuff. What is this? What is that? Well, I don't know what this. Look, this is pluses and I just don't have the time to. It's so daunting. Hi. Yeah. Oh. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's fine.
Hello.
Look. I'm from the future, but I'm here.
How far from the future? Have we got hoverboards?
No.
By any chance?
We don't have hoverboard. I'm literally from about 2 hours in the future when you've learned this game and and how to play it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I thought for a minute you'd kept that t-shirt for like years.
No, that is literally again. That's why I've got the same t-shirt on.
You can tell me how and teach me how to do this right now. Really?
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna teach you.
Awesome.
No, it's very, very easy.
Nice class.
No, once you get it, it's fine.
How's time travel work with the pop thing, by the way?
No, you have to be okay. Cool. Yeah, hi there. It's Richard from We're Not Wizards. Going to talk a little bit about Anachrony. There's no point in reviewing this game. I don't think there's much point in reviewing this game. Just because even doing litmus tests on various kind of board game groups, it's struck a chord with a lot of people and a lot of people like it. But for people who are out there that are still on the fence, I kind of want to give you a couple of reasons why I like it. Simple reasons, and some of them might be the decider to make you shell out some money, and some of them might be the reason to maybe hold off a little bit longer. But let's dive in. Just give you a couple of reasons why Anachrony is potentially a waste of time. The first thing to point out is the rulebook itself. While it does look incredibly daunting, I mean to the point where it's one of these funny rulebooks that if you were to sit down and just try to understand what you were getting yourself into, you're going to put it down again. Because from a kind of a reading and taking in the knowledge point of view, it's a tricky affair. However, when you actually decide to get yourself kind of set up and you've got it on the board and you play through a couple of rounds using the rulebook at the same time, everything very quickly kind of clicks into place, and that's nice. That's good. There's nothing worse than a kind of a game board which is full of symbols, and the Anachrony game board was definitely at the front of the queue when it came to having symbols, and I actually think it went back to the end of the queue and joined it again and waited until it got to the front again and just says, please, can I have some more symbols? Thanks very much. However, the rulebook itself is extremely well laid out. It's also some wonderful kind of sections that kind of have to draw your attention. Everything is kind of highlighted, all the important bits that you need to remember. And also, they've even got the importance of having things like a little glossary and an index for like the cards. As you play the game, you'll be bringing on buildings. Each of those is numbered. So if you get stuck, you can just refer to the number and it'll tell you kind of what to expect. That, to me, is an example of somebody who wants to play your game. You know, they want you to play the game, to get involved, to have a shot as quickly as possible. So the rule book I really like. It's even got icons on the back explained, which so many other game designers forget to do. Why? Look at this. It's a good example of a rule book. value for money. This is a hefty game box. It's a hefty game box. It doesn't even have like an insert because everything, there's literally tons and tons and tons. I can keep going. In tons and tons of stuff. Look, I can keep talking. Look at all this. There's not a bit of filler. There's a score pad. Tons. I've not even reached the game board yet. I'm going to keep going. This is like digging in the garden. You know, here you go. Keep going. We're still not there. Keep on going. Look at this. This is just the number of little tokens and chitties and cool cards that you get. Reversible for dramatic effect. Player boards. Double-sided. Everything in this is double-sided. There's a lot of value for here. There's a lot of bang for your buck. I've yet to see anybody who's said that they don't like the like of content isn't kind of worth the price that you paid. And also everything's functional in here. And the only thing you have to watch out for, I guess, is the amount of space that you need to set up the game. Once you put a couple of player boards out, once you put out the main board out, there's a lot of table space. It takes up a lot of furniture room, which is to kind of be expected when this game is trying to be an epic entertainment piece, which is, yeah, so that's cool. So yes, value for money, lots of stuff. Can we get a bit of this back in time? Before I finish this sentence, of course not. I'm going to have to tidy up as we go. The other thing I like about the game is the way Anachrony builds as you go. It is kind of like almost like an engine building game. It's a resource building game with the ultimate aim is to build as many kind of factories and buildings as possible that will help you gather your resources. And to kind of get you towards kind of earning as many kind of victory points as possible. And because of that, the board itself has to be kind of very, very easy to kind of understand. And therefore, once you grab the iconography in Anachrony, in other words that end in it becomes kind of like second nature what something kind of means and what something's kind of is. So you're not going to be kind of stuck on the basics. Oh, what does that do kind of there again? It's kind of fairly obvious based on kind of what's on the board. And as it builds up, the amount of it's a strange fellow in that your basic actions are always kind of there, but as you build up, you're effectively building up the number of free actions that you have as the game progresses. So it's quite, once you grasp it, it's very, very easy to keep a hold of it, to understand it, to be able to come back in a couple of months and just, not really need a huge refresh, maybe a round refresh. And as normal as with most good games, it has like a little guide on it has a little guide card that will explain to you exactly what you're meant to be doing on the rounds. And apart from some edge cases, which you'll find easily explained in the rulebook, you can just jump straight back in again. So again, plays very simply once you get a grasp of it, which is pretty cool. Let's talk minis. And more importantly, let's talk minis and functionality. It is every person's want that when they have a lump of plastic on their game board, that they wish for it to actually fulfill some kind of practical goal and practical dream. And for a lot of games, unfortunately, that means that you have a lump of plastic on the table that you could replace with a marshmallow. And apart from maybe the marshmallow being even more afraid of fire, there wouldn't be much of a change. because you've got so much kind of cardboard on the table as it is, then, you know, if you're lucky enough to kind of get the miniatures, then your components, and in this case we've got a little kind of engineer guy, you're playing your exoskeletons and they're actually played on the board as you kind of power them up. But you put your little guy in there so you can tell. That's so cool. And it takes like a huge presence on the board. It's absolutely really smart. I really like it. I'm a real sucker for plastic. But it just has a presence, and there's such design that's gone into these minis. They really are a sight to behold. And if you're a painter, then you're going to be loving kind of painting these bad ones, because they're going to have some kind of presence on the table. So the minis aren't there as, well, they are there as extra stuff. They certainly do a lot of good kind of enhancement to the game, kind of overall. Let's talk about longevity. You have got different factions in the game, and each faction, because I bagged them all up together because I like to be organised like that, they all, while there's a faction, they've all got their own particular kind of powers. They're all called paths, and each of their paths has their own kind of different special skills that they kind of bring to the table. Now, each path comes with two different types of characters, and each of those has their own kind of special kind of rules that you can follow as well. And that means that even if you play with one path at one point, if you then go and play with the same path another time, you've got the option to play with a different character, which gives you completely different skills, which is pretty cool. Pretty little extra things that you can include, and that kind of increases the longevity of the game. You've also got your 4 paths as well, so 4 paths, 2 players, that's 8 different characters you could potentially kind of play with. They've all got their own different kind of skill set and kind of requirements, not hugely different. You've got an option actually on the player boards as you play to play with the symmetrical version or the non-symmetrical version, and those give different requirements for when you're kind of you're building your buildings as well. And it just kind of increases the longevity of the game. Let's talk about expansions, because Mindclash, Mindclash have released a couple of expansions for Anachrony, but interestingly enough, they've not kind of gone down the kind of the usual route for the kind of what you would call the class, a kind of a traditional type of expansion. In the fact that you're not just adding on, they could have gone the easy way. They could have added just some additional factions, and that would have been it. And then it would have added a little bit extra longevity, but it would have given people the choice. In the Anachrony expansions themselves, one of them is to actually try and prevent one of the main points of the whole game, which is trying to gain enough points to have an evacuation in order to gain mega amounts of points and score really, really well. One of the expansions itself allows you to actually prevent the meteorite from hitting altogether, which is pretty cool. There's another one which is, so that's the Doomsday module. The Pioneers of the New Earth allows you to take your miniatures and take them out into a completely separate place, exploring and gaining kind of points that way. Then you've got the other one, which is like quite simply the Guardians of the Council. The Guardians of the Council is providing you with new Guardian miniatures which don't require kind of any kind of human intervention at all. So it's a different way. Again, it just kind of adds a layer onto the game, gives it something extra in terms of longevity. And again, they could have taken the easy way out with this. I mean, Anachrony itself, it did pretty well on Kickstarter. It continues to do very, very well on Kickstarter. They could have quite simply knocked out another couple of these, or they could have quite simply knocked out another couple of factions. And the fact that they are trying something different to expand the main game, I kind of really, again, it was just like, there's this thought that's gone into it, which I kind of really, really, really appreciate. So that was my reasons why I think you should, at the very least, get the next time somebody says, look, I'm bringing Anachrony next week to the club. Does anybody want a game? I would jump on this and just experience it for yourself. You're looking at something which, comes to the table with kind of like fangs and claws and growling and 6 foot high, some kind of horrific hell demon, and you're just like, what am I going to do? But once you realise, once you give it a quick kind of tickle around the ears for 5 minutes, it's actually just it's a very straightforward, lovable kind of puppy that is very, very easy to grasp. Once you get it, it clicks, and I would encourage you when you're learning the game not to do a usual, which is to read the rule book and then try and play it. I would actually just open the rule book, set up the board, and just jump in, and you'll find it's not a waste of time at all. Thank you for watching. My name's Richard. This is We're Not Wizards. If you like what you've watched, please drop us a subscription, put on the notification kind of thing, like and subscribe, all these wonderful things. But until the next time, stay safe, roll sixes, and